To repeat, the First Lady, Jill Biden, has COVID-19. What is the latest we know on her condition, and is this likely to affect the president's schedule at all?
Good to see you guys. She has mild symptoms, the White House says, and she'll remain at a Kiowa Island, South Carolina beach home that the president and her have been staying at since last week. This is a close family friend who's going to let her keep the keys, essentially, and the White House says she won't be leaving until she tests negative for COVID twice. Similar to the president getting out of isolation a few weeks ago. But this essentially continues now almost a month's worth of COVID complications for the Biden family and for the White House. You saw footage of her over the weekend there biking with the president on the beach. She went shopping on Sunday in some of the stores there just outside Kiowa. Highly recommend the pizzeria. I went there. And since then, she just hadn't been seen. Neither of them really have been seen. The White House says she had COVID symptoms starting last night, and it was in the midst of that they took a test and discovered that she has this. So, you know, she'll stay there in South Carolina. As for now, the president plans to continue on to Wilmington later today, and eventually over the weekend to Rehoboth Beach to continue what is in essence about a 2.5-week vacation, their longest stretch of time off since he took office, because remember, last year's vacation, which was mostly scheduled to happen in Delaware, was put off by the withdrawal from Afghanistan. So they're in the midst of a you know, you could argue some well-deserved R&R and certainly change of scenery from here at the White House.
Yeah, we remember this time last year it was a tumultuous August. So, Ed, shifting gears, President Biden is still on track to sign the Inflation Reduction Act into law this afternoon. Why is that bill so significant? What does it accomplish?
It accomplishes a lot of things Democrats have been trying to do for quite some time. Let's tick through some of those things. For example, there's about $370 billion to fight climate change in various ways, mostly by promoting renewable energy options, tax credits to buy used or new electric vehicles, for example, the largest federal investment ever in fighting climate change. It aims to lower prescription drug prices for seniors by allowing Medicare to negotiate for a few dozen different brands for the first time, a huge Democratic Party priority for more than 30 years. They get that done in this bill. It stops premium increases for about 13 million families tied up in the Affordable Care Act. That was a looming crisis that Democrats wanted to address before the election so that they could say, look, we helped make sure that your insurance premiums wouldn't go up. There's a bunch of other things in there, including the way to pay for it, which is also a campaign pledge. They want to raise taxes on billion-dollar companies, some of them at least, that now pay virtually nothing to the United States government. There's a new tax on stock buybacks as well, another priority, and a belief among Democrats that that was a loophole that's been exploited too much by companies and the wealthy. And they will boost funding for the IRS by allowing them to go after tax cheaters as well, another thing that they've been trying to do for several years because the tax enforcement agency has argued it needs more manpower in order to enforce actual tax laws. Republicans not happy about that. They're not happy about the bill at all. In fact, none of them voted for it. But the president coming back here today to sign it quickly in a more formal way. We'll get to witness that in about 2 hours or so. And then we'll hold a bigger, more political event with fellow Democrats the day after Labor Day, probably here at the White House, to celebrate it and sort of continue the amplification of its passage going into the fall. Putting it alongside a few other big accomplishments in the last few months is arguments that Democrats should continue to run Washington.
And so to your point, you know, is that the way the White House and Democrats are going to promote this bill, you know, this act? Because obviously they're very cognizant of November's midterms, you know, coming right down the pike.
Yep, you've got several of the cabinet secretaries planning about 3 to 4 dozen events in 23 states in the coming weeks. Kicks off this week with some of them out west talking about what's already been passed in that Inflation Reduction Act, plus passage of the gun control and mental health bill earlier this year, the CHIPS Act, which buoys the nation's semiconductor industry, the PACT Act that provides funding to veterans exposed to burn pits overseas while serving in conflict, and the infrastructure bill that was passed last year. All of that combined is trillions of dollars in federal spending. The Biden administration will argue it's good for the economy, helps create jobs, helps address inflation concerns, and all that's happening, of course, while, for example, NATO was expanded, gas prices have come down, and they argue things are headed in the right direction. Republicans, of course, think otherwise, but here's the thing. There's been polling in recent days that suggests in several key Senate races across the country, Democrats may come out on top. That when people are asked generally, would you prefer Democrats or Republicans to run Congress? Right now they're saying Democrats. That's not how congressional races are won. They're won district by district. And it's only August. A few states are back to school. Others are getting close to that. people's attention will shift to the midterms, more money will be spent, so those numbers will change, and that's why you're going to see the president, cabinet secretaries, and Democratic lawmakers all across the country out there trying to make the case that they should hold on to power.
Working hard to make that case. All right, Ed O'Keefe at the White House, thank you so much.